So we have the interview today with my client Roy Bush, and he went from the absolute verge of quitting affiliate marketing to landing his first ever high ticket commission without websites or paid ads. And in this interview, we will break down the exact steps he took to unlock his breakthrough. So the first question I have for you, Roy, is can you share with us your story and how you got into affiliate marketing?
I was working full time and I've always done things outside the work. So retirement was approaching, and at the time I thought it would be part time. So I started looking for something to do while, because the plan was to do a bit of travelling with my wife once I semi retired. But illness came along and changed the plans. So I ended up fully retiring, not going part time like I thought I
Mm,
would. Um, it was quite hard to come to terms with, a bit of a curveball. One of those things you don't think will happen to you. I loved my job, and I would still be there if I could, but life had different ideas for me. So I felt like marketing appealed because I could do it from anywhere, even when we're travelling. My wife gets onto me a bit sometimes for working, but we don't listen to her. So it was just the flexibility, really. And I didn't think I would be retiring full time, but that's how it went. So that was it, really. I've always, retirement was a bit scary for me. So I wanted to have things to do, just to keep myself going, really.
yeah, yeah,
And that was it, really.
yeah. And I'm sorry to hear about your illness. And yeah, affiliate marketing really gives that flexibility because you can do it from anywhere. And even when you are traveling, you can still grow your business and make progress in the business. And you can work with a couple hours a day, for example. So it's great. It's a great business model to do that.
Yeah.
When did you
Mhm.
start your journey?
About 3 years ago now, Andre.
3 years. Okay. So in
Yeah, 3 years.
2023?
Yeah. Hmm.
Okay.
And I was still
Cool.
working then. So, yeah.
Okay, cool. And take us back to the moment before we started working together. So, what were you doing in your business? What did your day-to-day look like in your business? And what was the biggest thing keeping you stuck at that time? So, you started your journey, you started doing some stuff with affiliate marketing. Tell us a bit what, tell us a bit more about what you tried with your business, what you were doing day to day, and what was the biggest thing keeping you stuck at the time.
Well, back then I was doing it around my shifts, which was fine because I was used to doing that anyway, so that wasn't really a problem. I think the main thing was I was trying to do it all, really.
Mhm. Which is
And
common.
then, yeah, I had a website with a couple of blogs. I did that. That was twice a week. I did some funnels as well, different pages on System.io. I was just always looking for things. Back then, I felt I was missing a part of the jigsaw, if you like. So I was always trying new things. When I look back now, I can see how much I was doing and not getting anywhere, but I didn't feel like that at the time.
Yeah.
I just wanted to keep trying things and make it work, and that wasn't the case, obviously. But so every sort of thing that came along, or everything that I hadn't tried, I thought I'll give that a try because I must be missing that. But that wasn't the case.
Yeah, and that's very common. It's when we are not getting the results we want, we always think something is missing. And it's
Yeah.
normal, especially when we are starting. But
Hmm.
we end up just adding more complexity to what we are doing, and we end up
Yeah.
in many directions. And based on my experience, the best way to get results is simplifying everything and just focusing on one thing, and that's what you realize later in your journey.
Yeah.
But that's a very common path people take is they start with tech as well with websites, funnels. You described websites, funnels, blogs, System.io. So doing a lot of things with tech, figuring out a lot of tech, and complicating the process too much, and that's very common.
Yeah.
So with the website that you built, how long did you spend on that? Building the website, tweaking the website. Do you have an idea of how long you spent on that?
Probably a couple of years, probably, and I thoroughly enjoyed it, but it wasn't getting me any sales.
Okay.
I've always liked the technical side of things. But it's affiliate marketing isn't building websites, is it? Unfortunately,
Yeah. Okay. So
and
you
things like
had tech experience.
no, self-taught, André. I've always liked computers and the internet, eh? So the first mentor I had, he was kind of more into the technical side of things. So that suited me from something I like to do. But as far as sales went, it didn't work.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So you spent a couple of years with the websites building stuff, tweaking stuff,
Yeah,
and you didn't make any sales.
yes, that's right. Yeah.
Okay. Um, so you enjoyed the tech, but you enjoyed it, but you didn't have experience. So was it a big learning curve for you, or was it easy to figure things out?
It was quite a learning curve, but I enjoyed it because it was something I liked. And because I'd retired, I was open to doing new things anyway. So, but after that amount of time, I wasn't getting any sales, so I kind of knew it wasn't really the way forward. Eh?
Yeah,
You know,
that makes sense.
you can get some fancy funnels, as I'm sure you know, but whether they convert or not is another matter.
Yeah, yeah, and a path a lot of people take is building tech and spending a lot of time building stuff with funnels,
Yeah.
websites, etc. Um,
Mm-hmm.
what else did you try besides that? Anything else?
No, I think that was it, really.
Okay.
Um, Yeah, that was about it, really.
And
Just
and how are,
things.
how are you trying to get traffic to those websites?
Just promoting the website, really. I didn't really do any ads or anything. It was all organic, but I used to get maybe a couple of inquiries a week after that, but they weren't really proper leads, eh? You
Hmm.
know, I had a lead magnet on the website, so I was getting leads from that, but they weren't really very good quality leads.
Okay. So organically, what social media platforms or what organic traffic sources?
Some on Facebook, and then I forgot I had a YouTube channel as well that I quite enjoyed, but I didn't really make any sales from that.
Okay.
I think I've tried it
Yes.
all, Andre. I think. Hmm.
And that's part of the being jumping around and trying multiple things. You were always
Yeah,
jumping and trying new things.
yeah.
Um, cool. So with ads, you said you didn't try anything. You didn't spend any money on ads.
No, that was about the only thing I didn't try was ads. Well, I just read it would swallow your money and you wouldn't get a lot of results, so that
Hmm.
kind of put me off ads.
Okay, I had an idea you had tried some ads, but okay, it was all organic. Thanks for sharing. Okay, and on Facebook, I remember you told me that you were getting pitched a lot. Is that correct?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah,
So, how were those pitches happening? So you were trying to promote your offers on Facebook, but you ended up being um, the person who was being pitched by other people's offers. So how was
yeah.
that happening? How were people finding you and pitching you? Can you describe a bit more about that?
I probably wasn't well before I joined your program. I wasn't as strict about friend requests, and I thought volume was a good thing. You
Mm-hmm.
know, so I would accept friend requests and send people friend requests. And sometimes you would hardly get chatting and they would pitch you right away, you know, their
Mm-hmm.
product, you
Yeah,
know. So you kind of learn the hard way, really, because I thought if I could have more friends, I would maybe get some sales. But I didn't realise then that you have to be kind of picky about who you have as friends.
exactly. And that's a common thing that happens to people when they start marketing on Facebook is they start accepting friend requests and then they end up getting pitched all this crypto
Yeah,
stuff, all these uh,
that's right.
business opportunities, even people looking to date on Facebook as well, uh, and
Yes,
fake profiles,
I just tell them I'm married, Andre, but I know what you mean. Yeah,
all these fake profiles, and a big
yeah,
part of growing the business on Facebook is having the right people exposed to you, having the right people in your friends list. And
yeah.
that comes from a big part of that is not accepting friend requests because when people send us friend requests, their goal is usually to pitch their offer, is usually for us to get exposed to their content, for us to see what they are
Mhm.
doing. So a big part of that is not accepting friend requests. And then bringing the right people yourself to your following by focusing on your ideal customers. So
Yeah,
that's a big one that happens to a lot of people. I talk with people with a lot of people who use Facebook, and it happens to a lot of people. They start getting pitched on Facebook when they start using it right away.
yeah,
Cool. So thanks for sharing. So you tried the website, you didn't make any sales. You tried organic traffic, Facebook
yeah.
and YouTube to get traffic to that website. And on Facebook, you were getting pitched a lot. So that's basically where you were before we started working together, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So at that time, what was going through your mind? How did it feel facing all those challenges and not seeing any breakthroughs?
Well, I started to get frustrated, to be honest with you. Because I loved my website, but it wasn't doing any good. um, I just couldn't figure out what I was missing, really, if I'm honest. I thought I'm doing all this work, and there's nothing happening, really. So, yeah, I did get frustrated and think about quitting, I have to say. I don't know if circumstance maybe kept me going. I don't know, because I was retired and I didn't want, as frustrated as I wasn't going to give in either. And I've got the time to do it and to persevere. So maybe that's why I've stuck with it. I don't know. It
Mm.
certainly kept my interest anyway, André. Give me something to do.
Yeah, I understand. Yeah. And it's great that you didn't give up. But I remember talking with you before we started working together, and you telling me
Hmm.
that you were considering stopping your journey and not continuing.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah.
and I remember you told me something along these lines, something like, I don't think this is worth sticking with, given the amount of time and money I've invested with nothing to show for it. I remember you telling me something like this.
That's right. Yeah, well,
So
there's that side of it as well, because you put a lot in time, effort, and money, and then you're not seeing anything back.
yeah,
You know.
yeah, and that's frustrating, absolutely.
Yeah.
And
Hmm. But
um, go ahead.
when you go, no, it's okay. I was just going to say, I think back then I didn't quite grasp how affiliate marketing worked, though. Really, if I'm honest with you,
How it worked?
the business model of it.
You didn't understand it clearly?
Yeah. Hmm. Yeah. I
What
thought.
what
Um, I suppose I thought it'd be a lot easier,
mm-hmm.
and I didn't realise how much of a learning curve it was for me to start. Because I'm quite a believer in jumping in and doing it, but and learning along the way, which is fine, but that can make it hard for yourself as well.
Yeah. Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know, and I don't
And
think I really grasped the process of it. You know,
yeah. Also because of the way it's marketed, because a lot of people market affiliate marketing as easy. Um,
yeah,
so you see all these messages online, all these ads online saying affiliate marketing is easy. You can just um make a post and make money, and it's not
yeah,
that easy. Okay, there are multiple parts that go into it, and it's simple. Yes, it's a simple business model. It's not as complicated as starting a brick and mortar, for example, where you have
no,
where you have inventory, if you are shipping stuff. So that complicates the process. But something online like affiliate marketing is simple, also because you don't have to deliver the product. You just send to someone else, and you just focus on marketing and selling. But even though
yeah,
it's simple, it's not easy, because you still need to figure out how to get attention, how to nurture that attention, and how to convert that attention. And
that's
until until that is happening, sales don't happen. Okay, so that's the part that, and a lot of people jump into affiliate marketing with that expectation that they'll make money quickly, and that it's going to be easy. And it's and I jumped with that expectation as well, because I saw affiliate marketing as something that could help me quit my job quickly. But then when I started doing it, and that's a journey we all go through, we think it's easier than it really is, because we
yeah,
don't have the experience with it yet. So when we start something new, we always think it's easier than it really is. But when we really start diving into it is when we see all the parts that are involved, and how much we need to learn and to
yeah,
to do to grow a business. So it's simple, yes, but it's not easy.
yeah.
Um, Thanks for sharing. So you were thinking about giving up, but as you had free time, you decided, okay, I'm going to keep going with this because I'm not, I don't want to give up.
Yeah, well, I've always needed something to be occupied, just how
Mhm.
I am, eh? And I was never going to just sit back in retirement and not do anything and vegetate on the couch. That was never me. So I think the affiliate marketing filled that gap for me, as frustrating as it was sometimes. And
Yeah, yeah.
I like online anyway, so I think that was two big boxes that ticked for me. And I suppose I there was a part of me wanted to keep going just to see make it work really,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
you know.
Yeah.
Because I mean it's easy enough to walk away, but I don't know. I just felt if I keep going, I'll maybe get there. But some days it seemed quite far to go. I have to say,
Yeah.
you know.
Um, and where you didn't stop, a lot of people stop. A lot of people have that same frustration that you had, and a lot of people
Yeah,
stop there. But and there's a great lesson in what you just said, which is if we just keep going, eventually the breakthrough happens. Eventually it
yeah,
happens as long as we don't stop. Um,
yeah.
it's not a matter
I
of
know
if,
that
it's a matter
now.
it's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when. If we don't stop, if we keep showing up consistently to learn, to take action, to do the work, eventually that breakthrough happens as long as we don't stop. But a lot of
Hmm.
people give up in that phase, in that frustration phase, and that's what a lot of people call the valley of despair, where you are struggling, you don't know why things are not working, you are you you
Right,
you are com you are completely stuck. A lot of people give up there and jump into a new thing and start the cycle again, where they, for example, jump into a new opportunity that seems easy, but then they start
right.
realizing that new opportunity is not easy again, and they get into the valley of despair with the new opportunity, and they or
Okay.
and a lot of people give up and start the same cycle again. And this is a cycle a lot of people do. Is one
Hmm.
opportunity, get stuck, new opportunity, get stuck, new opportunity, get stuck, and they keep
Yeah.
going in those cycles.
Hmm.
When what I've seen based on my experience, everything I've tried, and what I've learned from successful people is in that phase is exactly when you need to keep going. Okay, because if you start a new opportunity from zero, you are basically um, losing all the progress you made so far. Okay, because
Yeah.
even though you didn't get results at that, you didn't have any results at that time, you had progress made, you learned a lot of lessons, your perspective shifted along the way, you
Hmm.
became better at certain things. Okay,
Yeah.
so you would lose all of that if you decide to stop. Okay, or if you decide to jump into a new opportunity. And
Hmm.
that's what
Yeah.
happens with a lot of people. And I've been in the space since 2019, and I've seen
Hmm.
like so many people give up and stop their journeys. People I connected with in 2019, 2020, I would say 99% of them are gone. Um,
Okay.
and the ones that achieve results are the ones that don't stop and keep going, and like you did. So
Hmm.
congratulations on that,
Okay.
and that was amazing. So
Yeah. Thank you.
when you were in that phase, you were trying the website, you were trying to get traffic to the website, you were not making sales, you were frustrated, thinking about giving up. At that time, what attracted you to the idea of working together via the Six Figure Freedom Accelerator?
Um, well, I had a few chats with Leslie that started it, and she seemed genuine enough as well. We had a few things in common, so that made a big difference. And I checked out some of your stuff as well, so that was the two things for me really. Because you're my third mentor now. So I'm not saying the other two weren't very good, but I don't know, I didn't click with them, or I'm not quite sure what it was. But from a sales point of view, it didn't work,
Hmm. Hmm.
you know. Um, and I think like the second one, I'm not sure what if he still does it or what he does now. I think you've just said about sticking with it. Eh? I don't know if he's done that or not, and he was a mentor. Anyway, so yeah, I suppose just a decent program to work with decent people that are have got integrity and are authentic. Because online is very not authentic, isn't it?
Hmm. Hmm.
Trying to be polite
Unfortunately,
there.
yeah. Unfortunately, that's the reality of the industry. A lot
Yeah,
of empty promises and stuff like that. So thanks for
yeah,
sharing that. And it's great that Leslie recommended you to join the program. And Leslie is another client of mine for those who don't know. And I did an interview with her before as well. because she achieved great results with 6FFA, with Six Figure Freedom Accelerator. So if you guys want the interview with Leslie, let me know in the comments and I will send you the link. Drop Leslie and I'll send you the link to that interview as well. But yeah, thanks for sharing. So you talked with Leslie. She told you about the program and you started checking my
Mhm.
stuff and it resonated with you. Did it speak to any specific things you were going through with your business? For example, the website, not needing a website. Did it speak to you in that way?
Well, I suppose it did. Well, I knew Leslie was getting good results, so that was quite a big thing. She was making it work. I mean, I'm not going to lie, I was skeptical at the start just because of how what I'd done in the past, and it wasn't shiny object syndrome as such, but you know, I suppose it's you kind of had to try it and see if it worked, eh?
Mm-hmm.
So that's kind of what I did really. And I certainly wasn't expecting the results I've had, if I'm honest with you. But I'm nothing if not determined, I suppose, or stubborn, maybe.
Sorry, I didn't understand what you said there. You were not expecting the
Um,
results?
no, I wasn't expecting the results I've had, but I'm nothing if not determined or stubborn.
Yeah, yeah. Makes sense. Yeah.
And now I'm glad I was. I'm glad I did because this interview is probably quite good for somebody like me because my brain always goes on to the next thing all the time.
Yeah.
You've got to stop and appreciate things, and I'm a bit guilty of not doing that, eh?
Yeah. It's
But that's
important
just my nature, eh?
yeah,
Yeah,
to
because it is a big
celebrate
deal.
wins.
Yeah, definitely, aye. But I'm just push on and on to the next thing, eh?
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah. Yeah, of course, it's important to have goals and want to achieve more, and everyone has goals, and everyone as a place where they want to get to. But along the way,
Yeah.
it's important to pause and celebrate even the smallest wins, even the smallest wins,
Hmm.
even the first lead, even the first testimonial, not just a sale, but everything that comes
Yeah.
before the sale as well. The
Hmm.
testimonial, the lead, the 10 followers that start paying attention to us, the 100 followers. So all of those indicate progress. So,
Hmm.
um, and it's normal that we focus a lot on the money and the sale when we are starting. But if you guys didn't make your first sale yet, it's important to remind yourself of the progress you are making. And if you look at what's happening in your business right now, probably you see a lot of progress that you made. And compare yourself not with other people who are making money, but the version of you that was, for example, a few months ago or a few weeks ago when you started your journey. And if you look and you compare when you started with yourself now, even if you have been doing it for a few weeks or a couple of months, you'll see a lot of progress. Okay. And that's
Yeah.
what we need to appreciate and remind ourselves of because it's easy to get lost on social media and see all these people making a lot of money and getting demotivated. But we need to
Hmm.
forget those and focus on our own journey and comparing ourselves with the previous version of ourselves always. And
Yeah.
every time we have a win, thinking about that win, celebrating that win, and even sharing that win with your following. Okay.
Hmm.
When you get your first lead, share it with your audience because you sharing with your audience always reminds you of the win. Okay. Not just thinking
Hmm.
about it, but also sharing it. It stays more top of mind. Okay. So it's having
Hmm.
that, it's like gratitude. It's like being grateful for what you have and what you are achieving, even though you are not where you want to be yet,
Yeah.
as a goal.
Hmm.
And something
One of
that
the
helped
big
me. Sorry, go
Sorry, on
ahead.
you go. No, it's okay. I was just going to say one of the big things I've realised is I'm a lot more confident with it now because I'm promoting a decent program.
Thanks for sharing. Yeah, and that's a big part of it. When we believe in not what we are selling.
Hmm. Yeah, because I know if people ask you questions, I can answer them, or I can ask you, and you'll help as well. So you've got the support behind you, which makes a big difference. You know, you're not just one of those fly by night people, if you like, eh?
Yeah, thanks for sharing. Um, I was going to say something. I was going to say one thing that helped me get going back to the being grateful for the wins we achieve. One thing that helped me was doing weekly reflections. So I was sitting
All
down
right.
on Fridays and thinking what wins did I achieve this week and writing them down every week. making a strong
Mm-hmm.
effort mentally to think about wins, even when I was not making sales. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
because I wanted my mind to stay positive, and that's a big part of it. Is we need to train our mind to
Yeah.
focus on the positive things instead of the negative things, instead of the lack that we have when it comes to sales or whatever. Um, what you said there about the believing in the program, that's important because I tried promoting stuff that didn't I didn't believe in, and I didn't make sales. Um,
Yeah.
and probably and you did that as well. Um,
Mm-hmm.
that's a big part of making sales is because when you believe in what you are selling, you show up differently. You are more confident. It's easy for you to answer questions. It's easy for you
Mm-hmm.
to even in the way you speak. You people see the difference in your confidence, and it's much easier to close sales when we believe in what you are selling, what we are selling. So that's a big one as well.
Mm-hmm.
So thanks for sharing all these lessons
Yeah.
and things you have been learning along the way.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so you thought the next question you already answered and touched on it a bit. But my next question was when you are considering joining the six figure freedom accelerator, did you have any doubts, fears, or concerns? You tried all these things before, and you were skeptical because you tried all these things that didn't get results. You said something like that, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Well, it seems like I tried it all in the past, really, with little results. So I don't really know what attracted me really chatting to Leslie. I suppose I could see you were open and honest as well, which makes a big difference to me. You know, if I wanted to ask something or the support was there, I think that ticked a big box for me as well.
Thanks for sharing.
And you put the work in yourself as well, so that makes a difference.
Thanks for sharing.
You're
Yeah,
very visible.
and having that support from mentors helps a lot. In shortcutting our journeys, I have mentors myself as well. I have coaches, and having that support helps save a lot of time and avoid a lot of trial and error as well.
Hmm.
Um, that's why investing in ourselves is one of the best things we can do. So you decided to
Yeah,
do it even though you were a bit skeptical of the industry because of your lack of results in the past, right?
yeah. Hmm.
Cool. Um, okay, and once you came inside the six-figure freedom accelerator, you installed the system. Can you
Yeah.
walk us through the results you have been able to generate so far in your business financially and anything else? You already touched on a few lessons that you've learned
Um,
along the way, but
yeah.
can you walk us through the results?
Well, I've had a couple of low ticket sales and a high ticket sale, which has been great. I've learned loads, and if I have a roadblock, I just go to the particular section and I just watch the videos. So that helps a lot as well. And I message you occasionally, but
Mm-hmm.
so that's it really. I've just worked my way through them. But I suppose I hadn't before I came. I hadn't realised how important the messaging was, the DMs, if you like, right? And
Mm-hmm.
it's not been my favourite. I won't lie, but I'm in it a lot more now because I have the confidence. Whereas
Mm-hmm.
before, I used to kind of hide from them a wee bit. I shouldn't say that on you're recording this, aren't you?
I am, yes.
Whereas now I've got the confidence to go in the DMs and speak to people, and I realise how big a part of affiliate marketing that is. Whereas
Yeah.
before, I probably didn't put the effort in because it wasn't really my favourite. But there is some kind of saying that says the success is in the things you don't like doing or something, I think.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So I think it was part of that, really. Your AI tool's quite good as well. I've been using that, and that's very modern because everybody's talking about AI. So just that combination of things, really.
Yeah, yeah, and you always ask questions, which is another big part of your results. And that's something I have here a note I wanted to talk about. That is how you show up
Hmm.
weekly for the calls, and you are always there asking questions, asking for feedback, asking me to review your content, asking me to review a conversation. So that's a big part of your progress as well because it helps you avoid mistakes, it helps you learn faster. So that's a big one. Not just the videos and and what you mentioned, the AI tools, but also the fact that you show up to ask for help when you need it. That's a big part of it.
Yeah. Well, it works both ways because you're a very approachable. So it works because there's no point in you being approachable if I don't ask anything, you know.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Yeah.
So that's a big
Uh,
thing as well, you know.
yeah. Yeah. And also your consistency is a big part of it as well, because if you were not consistent, you wouldn't be here today. Okay. Um,
Yeah, that's true.
um, so that's another big part of the result you achieved. You show up daily to learn, to take action, to do the tasks you need to do to grow your business. So that's very important and a big part of the result you achieve now. It's basically the culmination of all the months that you have been showing up and doing what needs to be done in your business for you to
Hmm.
create opportunities to make
Yeah.
sales. Um, cool.
Hmm.
So when it comes to leads, I remember we talked about the fact that you are getting way more leads now than that you were getting than what you were getting before. Um,
Yeah.
and you mentioned a few low ticket sales and your first high ticket sale, which was an amazing
Hmm.
win. So let me walk you guys through what we did with Roy's business. Okay, so when we started working together, Roy described his problems. He was focusing on a website. He was trying to promote it on social media, and he was not making sales with that website. And when we started working together, we have a kickoff call. I do a one-to-one kickoff call with everyone who joined 6FFA, the Six Figure Freedom Accelerator. And in our kickoff call, we built a plan for Roy's business. And what I identified right away was that the problem was not his consistency. The problem was not his effort. He was showing up. He was doing the work. The problem was the lack of a simple system to convert to get traffic and then convert leads into sales. A simple system that delivers predictable results. That was what was missing in Roy's business, and that's what we installed in 6FFA. Another thing was what he mentioned about the website. He spent you said 2 years, right? Um,
Yeah.
on tech stuff here and there, touching on the tech and tweaking things and building things tech wise, and you were not spending time you mentioned in the DMs, for example, and putting offers in front of people, and that's something I see with a lot of people online is they spend too much time on tasks that don't make money. Okay,
Yeah.
they spend too much time on tasks that don't generate revenue in the business. When for us to make sales with affiliate marketing, we need to put offers in front of people. People need to buy our affiliate offer for us to make a commission. But a lot of people in their businesses are not spending time on the tasks that get them to put offers in front of people. They spend time on, for example, building websites, and I've done it myself as well. So because a lot of the industry teaches that to focus a lot of time, spend a lot of time building a funnel, building a website, etc. So it comes from what the industry in general teaches, which is you need a website, you need a funnel. So we end up spending a lot of time on that. But one of the biggest shifts, one of the biggest shifts for me and what I've seen with a lot of people who achieve breakthroughs is they stop spending so much time on tasks that don't generate revenue, like spending time building a website and tweaking a website, and spending more time on the tasks that make money. For example, putting an offer in front of someone, and you mentioned the DMs. That's a way to do that. So that's a big part of what I've seen helps people achieve breakthroughs, and that's one of the things we identified in your business was you were spending too much time on tech and not enough time in the on the tasks that help you make money and put offers in front of
Yeah.
people. Okay. So it was the lack of a system and the fact that you're spending too much time on the tech. And what we did
Hmm.
was we simplified. Okay. We stripped away the complexity in your business and we installed the Six Figure Freedom Operating System, which is the system I help people install in 6FFA. And it has three steps that I'm going to explain right now for the audience who is not familiar with the system. So the first step is that we get 10 to 15 new perfectly targeted leads every single day in only 45 minutes. Second step, we generate ready-to-buy leads with just one post per day. And third step, we convert leads into sales in 5 messages. Okay. So we get new perfect targeted leads every single day in 45 minutes, 10 to 15. We generate ready to buy leads with just one post per day, and we convert leads into sales in 5 messages. So this system doesn't require websites, doesn't require paid ads, just free traffic, and doesn't require a big following. And if you guys look at Roy's profile, it doesn't have a big following. Okay. I checked before the interview, and you have 2,400 followers, which is not a big following. And I've seen a lot of people with way more followers than you not being able to monetize. And what I see with a lot of people in 6FFA is they are able to monetize even with small followings because of the way the system is designed. Is designed to for you guys to make commissions even if you don't have a lot of followers. And I've had other clients making high ticket sales even with less than 1,000 followers. So that's another thing that is not required is a big following, and Roy is an example of that. He doesn't have a big following, and he made his first high ticket sell. Okay, and you talked about the AI tools that helped you. And
Hmm.
one specifically that you mentioned was in our calls before. You mentioned that you were using a lot the one for the conversation. So the tool that helps you, that tells you what to say in the conversation. So you are having a conversation with someone and you ask the AI tool, what do I say next? And the AI tool helps you with the message you should say next in the process. Can you tell us a bit more about how that AI tool helped you in your journey?
Well, you just put the information in, and then it gives you what to say. But I put quite a lot of information and a lot of prompts, and just to tell it, just to give it some context, really,
Mm-hmm.
just to kind of think I'm looking for, and it asks you for your target customer as well.
Mm-hmm.
So the more information you put in, the better the
Yeah.
information that comes out. And then you can adapt it to your own style, because
Yeah.
AI is very good, but you don't just take what it spits out and then off you go. Well, you'll
Yeah.
know that anyway, don't you?
Yeah. Yeah. It's important not to use it blindly, and
Yeah,
context is everything. Of course, the AI tool has the scripts, and my frameworks and examples from my business to help you guys with your conversations, but it's important that you give context about the conversation you are having so it knows
yeah,
what happened so far, and then it tells you what to say next. And even if the tool gives you a message, it's always important to look at it and not just blindly copy and paste and see if it makes sense, because AI can make mistakes. Okay.
yeah,
Um, and even ChatGPT and Gemini say at the bottom, AI can make mistakes. It's one of their
yeah,
disclaimers that they have there. So it's important
yeah,
always to look at the output from AI and to see if it makes sense, because sometimes it makes mistakes. Okay. But
yeah,
um, but the AI tool helped you with your conversations, right?
yeah. Hmm. Yeah. You just got to put it into your own style. That's all, so it doesn't stand out too much. But that's okay because they do get to know you a bit when you use it a lot as well.
Yeah, yeah, and that's another important thing is is using your voice. Even if you are getting a message from a script from AI of what to say, adapting it to your voice so it sounds like you. Because if
Yeah,
you if you were not using AI before when talking to people, and then you start using AI and your voice changes, people notice it. People
yeah,
see the difference. So you use the AI tool to tell you what to say. It gives you a script to use, but it's always important to see if it makes sense first. And what you just said is also important, is to adapt it to your voice.
yeah. Well, you want to relate to people, don't you?
Yeah, exactly, exactly.
If
Um,
you just take it off AI, it doesn't, does it?
yeah, yeah. And that's just one of the AI tools I provide. That one for the conversations, and you guys in 6FA get more AI tools, like tools to pick a niche, to engineer your ideal customer, to get unlimited content ideas, to create posts. So I give members of 6FA multiple AI tools to help them speed up results. The tools do a lot of heavy lifting for them, and it saves them a lot of time.
Yeah,
Um, Okay, another thing I wanted to talk about was how you leverage the Six-Figure Freedom Accelerator affiliate program. Okay, because um, the sale that you made was through the Six-Figure Freedom Accelerator affiliate program.
yeah,
The ticket sale you made came from my affiliate program, and in that
yeah,
affiliate program, you guys have access to done for you sales. So you guys can send leads to me, and I close sales for you. Okay. How much did that process of sending leads to me and me closing sales for you help you in the process of making your sale?
It was a great help in that sale. Yeah, because there wasn't a lot of steps in it.
Hmm.
So it was a great help. Um, Probably my skills aren't quite up to closing yet in the DMs, but I'm certainly getting there.
Yeah,
But the fact that you can do it, makes a big difference. Well, it made a big difference for me anyway.
yeah,
And it's a wee confidence boost, which isn't a bad thing, is it?
yeah. Thanks for sharing. And what you just said about eventually you'll get to the point where you close sales yourself. That's important because
Yeah.
and that's how I designed the affiliate program was that was my goal is to assist you guys in making your first sales. So it's easier for you guys to make your first sales to make sales as quickly as possible. But at the same time, I teach you how to close sales yourself. So you can at the beginning send people to the system and to the affiliate program. So I assist you in the closing of the sales. And along the way you develop your skill to close yourself and eventually you get to a point where you can start closing sales yourself. Um, so that's why I built the affiliate program that way, and it worked well for you. You sent leads to the affiliate program,
Hmm.
and you made the ticket sell that way. So that was amazing.
Yeah. Hmm.
Awesome. Thanks for sharing all the lessons and everything you have been doing. If you guys are getting value from the interview, let us know in the comments. Drop hashtag value. And I will look at the comments and the questions at the end. Okay. So, next question I have for you is, how are you feeling right now? You achieved this breakthrough, you achieved your first site ticket sale. What is going through your mind? How do you feel after achieving that breakthrough?
Pretty good. I suppose now that we're sitting down talking about it, I'm on holiday anyway, so I'm quite relaxed. But aye, pretty good. Yeah. It's a nice milestone, lets you see that the process works,
Yeah, yeah,
which is a big deal, really, for somebody like me. And I suppose you kind of touched on it earlier. It makes me, I realise how it was worth keeping going, even
yeah,
though it wasn't always easy at times.
yeah,
You
yeah.
know, you're not going to make your fortune overnight, but I've kind of learned that anyway. So, you know, but aye, pretty good, I suppose. Yeah.
Awesome. Um, and the confidence part is a big one. Seeing that the process works, seeing that what you are doing works, that gives a lot of
Hmm.
confidence. When you guys
Yeah.
see when we see the first high ticket sale or even the first low ticket sale, the first sale is always something we don't forget. Um,
Yeah.
because we see all these people making sales around us on social media, and before we made our first sale, we never fully believe we can do it. But when we see the
Yeah.
first one, it changes something inside of us. Especially
Hmm.
the very first one, and then the first high ticket is another big one, big milestone. It gives
Yeah.
confidence, and it's the hardest
Hmm.
one, and it's the hardest one. Um,
Yeah.
it's the hardest one because when we make the first one, then we see, okay, what did I do for this to happen, and we can replicate
Yeah.
that process. It's always looking back at what's working, and that's a big lesson I
Yeah.
learned in my journey. Is okay, this worked.
Hmm.
I need to do more of it. Um,
Yeah.
so it's always paying attention to that. But
Hmm.
but yeah, if you guys who are watching didn't make your first sale yet or your first high ticket sale yet, remember that um, the first one is the hardest one, and if you just keep going, eventually it will happen, and then it gets easier because when you see the first one going through, then you gain confidence and you see what worked, and you can replicate that process, and the second one, the third one, the fourth one will become much easier um,
Hmm.
along the way. Okay,
Yeah.
so thanks for sharing.
Okay.
And final question I have for you. For anyone watching this right now, we're sitting on the fence and with doubting if this can work for them, with feeling stuck like you were when you were doing the website, using the website, you were stuck. So the people who are in the same spot where you were before, what would you say to them about making the decision to join the Six Figure Freedom Accelerator?
What would I say now? I would say just give it a go. What have you got to lose? That's what I would say. You can always send me a message if you like. happy to answer any questions, or they could message you, Andre. You have to put the hard work in. Obviously, it's not overnight success, but if you're willing to put the hard work in, the system's there. So you just have to stick to the plan, really. I mean, that was just over a year for me, and I got a high ticket. So something I never thought I'd be saying,
Amazing.
you know.
And it's all
Um,
came from your work. Of course, you have the
yeah.
system, but if you didn't do the work, if you didn't do the work, it wouldn't happen. So that's
Mhm.
a big part of it. Um,
Yeah.
and
Hmm.
we can have a system, but if we don't execute and we don't stay consistent, the system will not be the magic thing that makes sales happen. So
Yeah.
your work, your consistency, the fact that you show up daily to do your tasks, that was what made this sale happen. Okay. Of course, the system
Hmm.
helps you have that foundation,
Yeah.
but it's a big part is your what you are doing, is your consistency
Hmm.
and your and the fact that you show up to do the work. Okay.
Yeah.
So
Hmm.
do you have any final words that you want to share?
No, I don't think so. If you're willing to put in the hard work and you're open to learning new things and you put it into practice, that's about it, really. Any problems, just send me a message and I'll help. That's fine.
Awesome. Awesome. So yeah, that was it when it comes to questions. If you guys who are watching want my personal help to install the Six Figure Freedom operating system, which is the system I use myself, the system my clients are using, the system Roy is using. Um, if you want my help to install that system in your business, so you can make $500 to $2,500 commissions without websites, without funnels, without paid ads, without a big following, and we use AI to do the heavy lifting, save a ton of time, and speed up your results. There's a link below with the details of my Six Figure Freedom Accelerator. If you are on Facebook, it's in the comments. If you are on YouTube, it's in the description.